This is David Cohen on another Sunday. I apologize for last week. For a little bit more than 10 days, I was undergoing extensive medical exams, etc., in Israel. And I simply wasn't in a position to produce and post a video, and I hope you understand. Today, I want to talk about the reliability, the document character of a photo, of photography. I hear a lot of bullshit and nonsense, and you know me. I say how I feel, I say what I feel, I talk about things. I hear and read a lot of bullshit about photoshopping, about apps like Evoto, which I also use with lots of pleasure. I use Lightroom. I use all of these apps to improve photographies I have taken, because at the moment of this photo, I was unable to take everything into consideration. Yes, I edit out a few disturbances, this and that. And then I hear, as I said, the usual bullshit, idiocy. Yeah, today, the same idiots who always think everything was much better back then, back in the days, etc. Today, you cannot really trust the photo, because now, with all the possibilities and opportunities, blah, 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 blah. Now, if any of these people, or shall I call them life forms, had any idea, I wouldn't have to mention that the first documented use of photo manipulation happened to a photo of three Capuchin friars in Malta in 1846. So when you do a little bit of research, instead of complaining and knowing it all, you will see that the original photo included, obviously, a statue that was manipulated out. Later on, or very soon, other techniques became known as dodging and burning. We still call it today this way, frequency separation. We all did it, those who are old enough to have worked with analog cameras and even developed their own work. Talking about manipulation, a photo like your view, your perception, my perception, has never been reliable. Just listen to people who happen to be the witnesses of a car accident. 5 people, 6 opinions, at least. Why? It makes a difference in which angle I see somebody. It makes a difference when I become witness. Was it at the beginning of an action and I was following and was able to select the moment of taking the photo? Or was I just there in the last moment and talking about angles? It makes a difference, and it has always made a difference. How I point my camera. I can make a few people look like a huge crowd, and I can make a huge crowd look like a few people, depending on how I take the photo, where I position myself, and what I'm doing. Is this reliable? No. Is it reliable when I, for artistic reasons, underexpose, overexpose? When I, long before we were able to edit out cables, wires, electricity lines, everything, I just changed my position so that these disturbances were no longer visible in the photo because I chose to move as much as long as I wanted or needed to get the desired result. Nobody talks about this. Photography has never, ever been an objective witness. This is why, uh, for example, National Geography and other long gone publications said documentary photography, war zone photography, etc., you simply take the photo without alterations. But even then, I manipulate. Even then, I can make you feel and believe things in a certain way. What I want to say is every time I edit a photo and I work on skin, and I'm not over the board as many others. There was this airbrushed look in the 90s where models looked like, I don't know, worse than Barbie dolls. I'm talking about here and there, increasing a little bit the highlights, and yes, editing out this and that, some corner of a window frame. Why? Because it's not about the window frame. I'm into taking photos of models in a certain way. I don't need the window frame. And believe me, Yasmina is a testament to this. How often she is waiting for me to take the photo because I'm moving furniture, I'm changing position, I'm trying to get as much done before I get into post-production. But photography has never been about this. Go back in the history of the 20th century, in the so-called good old days. Look at how many changes were already done in photography in the Soviet Union. Leon Trotsky, who fell in disgrace, he was manipulated out of official photos. It makes a difference whether we look at photos American journalists took of the Soviet commemoration of the October Revolution, and you saw how many or how little people were standing there, or the propaganda news, etc., etc. I am very happy that apps like Volto make very painstaking processes as dodge and burn, frequency separation, even easier than Photoshop. And I'm absolutely willing and happy and glad to pay, yes, the evil word, subscription. Why? It's not only because it is my work and I can deduct my expenses from taxes. I used to do all of this long before. As much as I was able to do photography professionally, I did it. I didn't make an income, but my approach, my attitude, and my viewpoint was professional. And this is what I wanted to tell you today. Stop this nonsense discussion of, yeah, photoshopping, blah, 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 blah. Back then, today, you cannot trust, you never were able to And those people who claim that, listen to them carefully, because they are hallucinators. And when they hallucinate about something like this, you better not believe them about anything else, not even about the time of the day, because they might cheat you even on that, or have a wrong perception. Nevertheless, I'm looking forward to reading your comments. I can't wait to get one of them, as usually, on my timeline to enlighten me about their stupidity and cluelessness. And as much as, by the way, I'm very happy that when I returned from Israel, I couldn't believe the beautiful weather we have in Europe now. Single digit temperatures in the evening, long rains, gray. I love it. Shitty summer is finally over. I wish you a nice and pleasant rest of the day and a good start into the week tomorrow. Take care. See you next week.